All right, welcome back to Classic Conversations. I am Cortez, Real English.
As always, I'm fresh and to the right.
Vic the ruler, whichever one you want to call your boy.
And what we talking about today? What's the conversation for this
What's
segment?
on my mind today is cannabis.
Cannabis.
I don't know. Maybe a lot of people think about cannabis. I don't know.
so.
Seem like about 80% of the world smoke it, but
I think that dude be thinking about cannabis.
maybe. I ain't gonna say there was dry snitching, but I think he just dry. Hey, look. I'm just saying, there's some rules we gotta follow. Anyway,
my fault.
hey, but look though, but no. So, right. But and that's what it is. You see, we can say that it's legal. But I travel, here, there, here, whatever. I got a commercial life, but in some states it's not legal. Some states, still frown upon it like it's crack, bro, or I ain't gonna even say cocaine. Like they like it's crack or yay. That's what I was trying to like yay or something.
Yeah.
But and then, if you look it up, I might have this. I think it's Schedule 1 or.
I think it's
Schedule 1, right?
I think it's still Schedule 2 though.
No. Negative. Basically, what I'm saying, underlining the point, I believe it's Schedule 1 or Level 1, but they have marijuana classified with other drugs like heroin or, hard.
I thought they were supposed to drop it down, but they never did.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, okay.
But they classify it with real drugs.
Right,
you know what I mean? And, once again, if, you do just like a little investigation, you'll, like, number one, the pharmaceutical industry, big pharma companies, and the drug industry are the ones that produce drugs. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's where exactly, man-made shit. Now, the herb, and I'm not even trying to sound like everybody else, but cannabis or the herb, it's a plant. It grows from the, whatever the case may be. But the distortion, you know what I mean, about cannabis or marijuana use and it being a drug that hasn't killed anyone, but yet and still, society will go ahead and justify cigarettes, which is something that's man-made, that does have those chemicals in it, and is killing motherfuckers, and is killing people daily.
Killing motherfuckers.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the issue, and what I want to talk about as far as, cannabis and its legalization. Senators, I don't know how many, I don't know if it's one, and I don't know which state, but there's a 420 Senate bill that the federal government is trying to pass in order to legalize it. Now, me personally, I just think it's all game. I don't want to say mafia and all this other stuff, but the one percenters or the people that make this mug run, you know what I mean? They just have to figure out a way how to continue to make the money off of it and control it. Because what do you think would happen if marijuana was just legalized at a state and federal level? What do you think some causes of the or
I think what happens if they do that is they take the money out of the hands of the smaller people, the you and me's, the small growers, the entrepreneurs, the street level entrepreneurs. They take the money out of their pockets, because now you don't have to go to them. You could just go to the local dispensary. Obviously, it's going to generate tax money, so that's more money from them, right? And they get to control, like they get to slap the FDA on it, right? Which controls the growth, right? The growth of it, the sale of it, the types of what strains you can buy, how, is this natural? Is it not natural? Is it GMO? Right. And then it gets put into the money, all then gets funneled into them and away from us. It's another way of taking a stream, like a income stream from the people, and taking it, right, and putting it into their pockets. It's literally like how we were just talking about hip hop, how we gave it to them. Same thing. We about to get him because we're so happy about legalization. I thought that was the worst thing that could happen for cannabis. You know what I mean? Only because it's literally about to take it from the people and give it to the government and big business, which is all the same. Big pharma about to take it, make all the money, and that's.
I think
good.
that
Hitting it. It's hitting you. You hitting it, it's hitting you.
I think to a certain extent, though, the weed game about to go back to the streets a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I lived in the Valley for 2 years, and some weed that has the look of some high-grade weed but smoke like some mid-grade weed is what they sell in the Valley at a very high price. So you'll end up paying like $65 for an eighth out there, which, if you don't know what an eighth is 3.5 grams. And you'll pay $65 for that. Opposed to, you can go to South Central and you can go to somewhere where you actually have somebody will rapport with the people who work in there, and they're gonna know what you want and actually what you see. Yeah, the dispensary is gonna actually deliver what you actually would like to have, opposed to just a look. And the dispensary comes with a better look and a bunch of neon lights and shit like that, but they selling you weak ass weed. So that's why I say, like, weed is about to go back to the streets, because the streets know what pressure is as far as weed. So they know they don't want to shop and go get 40% tax on some bullshit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So $65 for an eighth, that's how much weed, that's how much damn near weed was when I was in college in Illinois.
Absolutely.
And that's like a highway robbery. You feel me?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, come on now, like, people gonna start to see, like, okay, I know people that got grow houses now, and they make dummy bread just because the weed shops don't have no real good weed like that. They watering it down because whatever they doing to spray the weed and all this other type of shit is taking out the actual purity and the actual goodness of it, and it's just giving you a look. Right. But it's just a piece of shit, though.
I know some folks that got some grow houses that still do that, and like you said, they make bread. I don't know. I just look at it as like survival. I feel like they're just surviving right now for the time being, to which if the federal government does finally legalize it federally on the federal level, they are a big opponent. You feel me? Like that's a big opponent to fight. And I don't think that we organized enough, or we can combat the federal government on that level. They'll find some way to tax and then overtax that, or criminalize it in another fashion to where now you can't have a grow house unless you got permits and licenses, and then here comes the police shutting you down because you don't have it, confiscate your shit, and then now they're gonna sell it anyways. You feel me? So there's a way that they're gonna knock down the competition if it goes federal. If they legalize it on the federal level, it's gonna shut down.
I mean, but I think that just goes back to like a benefit, I would say, from your guys' age bracket, I guess you can say. You guys have people that have actual hands-on skills. Like, I got a fraternity brother. He older than me, probably about like a good 8 to 10 years, but he builds hydroponic systems. Okay. So like he builds hydroponic systems for like Whole Foods or like different places, and they grow like lettuce. Right. They make millions of dollars off lettuce every year off the systems he builds. So with that being said, he was just telling me, like, if more people figured out how to build these type of things, just through basic class, engineering classes, whatever, he was like, you can make money off of a small crop of weed that's still underneath the regulation, but the system that you're building is allowing you in your grow to profit so much because you know how to do it, opposed to putting some rinky-dink shit together. Like knowing how to set your tanks on a timer, how to refill themselves and let the water out, all that type of shit. And he showed me like a whole facility he did for a weed company in Colorado on a rooftop. So it's like that even go back to property ownership and all that other type of stuff, because you can't be renting and then try to build some shit like that in the house or outside, because then your landlord or whoever property manager come in like, oh hell no, you feel me?
Snitch on you or charge you one part of the, you know what I mean? Not to mention that the electricity is still in their name, and that bitch gonna go hide in a motherfucker, and they gonna snitch. They gonna snitch, definitely. So I mean, so is it optimal that it stay the way it is right now? Is it optimal that it's legal in the state and not in the feds? Or
it's not, bro. Look, it's not gonna stay this way. They just trying to figure out how to control it, or like, you know what I mean? Like they want to be able to control it the same way they control the drugs that they already. What do you got to do when you get a prescription? Where do you got to go? Behind the counter, right?
Right.
Boom. They control that shit. So you can't do, and then they can't. All right. If I created this drug right here, I could put a patent on it.
Right.
I can say it's mine. I can put it on this shelf. They
It's
done
on-
already created some shit that got your arm falling off, so I know you need my shit. It's not finna cure you,
just
but it's
gonna
finna
help
go
you get
ahead
to
and make
the
it
next
better.
level. Yeah.
But it's finna fuck with your big toe. And then you're
Now
gonna
you
need
gotta
some
get
shit from
for the
down
big
here.
toe, right.
So basically what I'm saying is, I can put a patent on that drug and control it, right? Because I created that.
Right.
I didn't create weed. This shit was growing since back whenever the.
But they gonna toy with that shit, that GMO shit, and then they gonna.
But and I feel you. But the point though, where I'm trying to go with it is, they're not going to be able to control it. You know what I mean? That's why the federal government can't go ahead and why. You can't control or put a patent on something that grows naturally. Like, you know what I mean? You can't say that's mine. It's like stupid shit. So if they can't do that, and I say go ahead, green light on weed, shit, you finna have a gang of people quitting their job. You finna have a gang of people who already got pounds and shit stored up. These motherfuckers that's up here in the mountains up north with. It'll be a shift in power. Like the change would be dramatic, bro. The federal government will lose control as soon as they say yes to marijuana, my nigga.
You think so?
That's a
I
good
know
thing.
so.
Though.
It's a good thing for.
That's a good thing.
I ain't tripping off that, you know. But and you know that's once again that's just personal opinion. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not
You
saying
saying you're not tripping off the government losing power of?
the government is losing power right now as we speak, bro. We like.
I mean, that's
But
what
then
I'm saying.
that's-
I don't. Are you saying? I'm just trying to clarify.
Yeah.
Are you saying that you feel like it's a benefit from them losing power, or are you just saying in general they're just losing power? Like it's not going to make a change.
It absolutely would not be beneficial for the government to lose power. Only because of you know what it will create as far as what they would have to do to maintain control.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We don't want this to turn into no third world
Right.
type. You know what I mean?
I'm
But
over some weed.
now let's just say the threat of them losing control like that happened and kind of had them sweating a little bit, and it
Okay.
shifted some type of change in how things are governed or laws or this or that. Then of course, but. It's not gonna happen, bro. Like it's not gonna happen. Or like you just said a second ago, if they do go ahead and green light it, it's gonna be hella tax on it. And correct me if I'm wrong. When Obama first came into office and we was in whatever the deficit was, he came up with the 420 bill and brought up the medical marijuana to help get us out of that position, and it did.
Generate more.
You know what I mean? And some other states followed suit and all this other stuff. Colorado was the leader in this shit. But
they made so much money, especially for the state.
right
State
now,
wise. They in a surplus as opposed to a deficit.
it's
They got
like-
extra money.
East Coast started rap, like that's the mecca. Like Colorado started this weed shit, that's the mecca. But excuse me, damn, I lost my train of thought, my point. But it's just a control factor, bro. But they're gonna find a way to make their money off of it. I mean, because it's shops today making millions, paying $2 million in taxes, and who said that? I forgot, but. If you making $1 million, you know what I mean, and you don't see that other, you're supposed to get 10, you know what I mean? So if they paying $2 million in taxes, bro, they making $6-7 million in profit or whatever.
And they want
So,
that piece. But
yeah.
I mean, but that's the thing. I think the federal government is going past the point of wanting their piece to now wanting control of it, and that's because when you think about the government being in bed with big pharma, right? Which is like DuPont, they make chemicals. Then Monsanto, they toy with nature and give us GMO shit, right? They make the Roundup, which causes cancer and also causes gender switches and shit like that, right? Or not so much gender, but gender fluidity, where they found out the black scientists found out that the chemical in Roundup or one of the other pesticides that Monsanto makes causes abnormal rates of like estrogen in boys and testosterone in women, so that actually is like an onset of
That's some crazy shit.
it's biological homosexual. Like it causes biologically creates
I mean,
homosexuality. Right.
You know, I can give a little belief to that. There is a such thing as biological warfare,
And that's exactly what it is. I'm, you know, and I'm not saying I ain't got nothing. This is not an attack on anything homosexual, but I'm saying that from a biological standpoint, it is pushing people in that direction. Not everybody, but it has that ability to. But my point being is that Monsanto, being the giant that it is, with the ability to toy with nature, from that point, you know, you get organic things that were the way, you know, that when God created it, this is how He created it. Now they toy with it for whatever reason, and it's never really a good outcome, right? When they changed the corn, they made the corn pesticide or pest proof, and now it's now they got to use, you know, pesticides when the pests come back and figure out how to now attack this. You know, now what happened? They weren't supposed to be able to, you know, attack it. Now they become resistant. You know,
to it,
right? So Monsanto is playing God with all of these plants, but they, you know, let the federal government get weed. They're gonna do the exact same thing. What's that shit that was out here that had niggas biting people's faces? That weed, that synthetic weed. Yeah, that shit. You gonna find weed that's just like that because they gonna start
Spice K2 bath salt.
And that's the same shit. You gonna find that with the weed where they start tampering with the weed. And
I
you're not
don't
gonna
do
get
drugs, just weed.
But that's what I'm saying. You're gonna find out that they're gonna tamper with this shit in some fashion where it's either gonna become highly addictive, or it's gonna have some other side effect that's gonna cause people to hallucinate or whatever. But guarantee, if the federal government get it, that means if FDA get it. If the FDA get it, that means Monsanto get it, and you're gonna have GMO weed, which is not gonna be natural. So if you let them get control of it, where they put regulation on it and they let their people, and then the other side of it is if Monsanto tamper with it, then they can go and patent it. And then the other side of it is to in this rant is, you know, Monsanto creates seeds that don't reproduce. So it's a one-off. Like, so what they did now is they control a whole breed. Like, so if you go buy corn seeds, you can't find natural corn seeds. It's only in some states it's actually illegal to buy natural corn seeds or natural whatever seeds. You have to buy them from, you know, Home Depot or something like that, and those are
where we say get it from.
Yeah, where we say, and those are one-offs, meaning you get one time, and then that plant does not reproduce seeds again.
Damn.
So what happens is you buy it, you know, produces, and then it dies. It won't germinate all over again. So you have to go buy it again. And then the other side of it is they're very, very powerful. So when the wind blows and it blows it into a natural, like, so if you got your GMO on one farm and somebody else on the other farm don't use it, when the wind blows, it's gonna contaminate the natural shit, right? And then here's the thing: if you didn't buy a license for it, like you gotta go buy a license to use it. Then if they find that GMO on your farm, a natural farm, because it blew from my farm, they sue you because you didn't have a license to use it.
Damn.
So Monsanto, as a government, you know, partnership, collaboration, if you will, is really putting people out of business on a global scale, where farms that, like, we refuse to use it, we're going to be natural, we're going to keep natural, they're forced to use it because the guy next to them had it and it blew into there, and now they got to get a license and continue to use it because other that or they're going to get put out of business. That same shit going to happen to the weed game if we let that shit go, big business and big pharma, because corporations ain't in for nothing but money and control. And so the legalization of it actually has a negative. So I actually liked it when it was in the hands of the people. Illegal or not, at least we could grow where we wanted to. And obviously when I say wanted to, it's, you know, it's still illegal, but you knew it was natural. You knew ain't nobody tampering with it. I mean, aside from maybe somebody, you know, lacing your shit.
I mean,
but you know,
yeah,
if you bought the shit, or if you could grow it, you know that shit was from the ground. It don't have the tampering that our shit that we go to the market now, we know that shit is tampered with.
Absolutely.
Our weed becomes the same way. If you can buy weed at the marketplace,
bro,
you know it's gonna be tampered with.
I remember I've been smoking weed for a very long time. Anyways, sorry, go back. Anyways, man, what I'm saying though, bro, weed used to, it's some weed out there used to be called cess weed or stress weed.
Yeah.
Shit has stems in it.
Reginald.
Shit has seeds in it.
But they call that shit the Reggie now?
Reginald.
And
Reginald.
Exactly. And then you had the chronic, right? So I grew up on the chronic.
Okay.
You don't got no more chronic. I ain't seen no stress and I don't know how long. Stress turned into Pretendo anyway. So they've been, I guess, genetically or whatever, trying to increase the whatever, but they've been doing it on kind of like a natural way, finding new ways to do it. But
it's the way that they used to do it. Like they used to do it naturally, where like we get seedless grapes. Once upon a time, they did that naturally in such a way where they just took 2 different strains or 2 different kinds and continued to make it until you breed out the things you don't want. But now they're doing it genetically, where they going in with a microscope and.
But it's some benefits to it as well, man. Let's not forget that cannabis is used a lot in medicine as well.
But that's my point. So if Big Pharma get it, you feel what I'm saying? If Big Pharma get it,
I mean they
gonna take out but if they get it legally, what they're gonna do is they're gonna take out the nutrition part, put it in a pill, a drug, and then what you're gonna get is weed that just gets you high. No medicinal portions to it. They're gonna take that out, which is what they've done with all of the fruits. You know what I mean? Like, they said an apple a day keep the doctor away. Once upon a time, that shit had absorbent amounts of nutrition in it. Nowadays, the apples you eat ain't the same ones from when your parents ate them or the generation before that, because
nothing really
that GMO
bro.
shit, they take the nutritional value out of it and then they give it to you in a pill that just gets you to the next day to take it again.
You know what? Let me. Not trying to cut you again, man. Let's stop right there and think about this, right? Because it scares me, what a lot of, whatever farmers or whatever. It just scares me what's going on with the food that's in the grocery stores out there today. But when I think about why, man, it's, everything is connected, like we say in other conversations, man. But we're living in an overpopulated, state, country, however you want to look at it. Let's just go ahead and say country. Let's just go ahead and say your house is built for 6 people, but inside of your house you got 27 people. All that food up in there, as soon as you get it gone, then you're gonna start getting sick. Like it just, everything connects. So what happened a while ago, man, is when they saw this overpopulation coming and the food getting scarce, they did try to create other foods, dehydrated foods, shit you can just add water to, this, that, whatever. Then somehow you get up until today where everything is like I ain't never seen no baby chicken with, like, what the, do you see the fucking type chicken like motherfuckers is buying today, bro? Like, funny but serious, and I eat this shit occasionally, man, I ain't gonna lie. But it's not safe.
Good,
it's not even, look, bro, they
that
just,
should be good. The Frankenstein.
they just had a scare on the, which lettuce was it? I forgot which lettuce it was. But man, they have
the iceberg lettuce.
Was it the iceberg? For sure. But, it's scary to eat a lot of stuff, man. But the point that I was trying to get
The
at,
pink slime from McDonald's and shit. Nigga ain't even eating chicken nuggets. You eating pink slime nuggets.
all that, bro, eat the nuggets
But
too.
them shits be good, though.
That's why he eat the nuggets too. He fooling. He
Hey,
the worst of the
hold on,
worst.
first of
talking
all,
about
bro.
that shit right now.
Hey, look though.
Yeah. I eat
So,
the
but-
nuggets every blue moon.
But yeah, though, man.
Nasty
So
too, nigga.
Hey, man, when I say every blue moon, that's like once a year, bro.
what are we to do? But man, honestly, bro, it's just, we can connect everything to everything, man. Like I said, like, it was a time to where people were more reliable, self-sufficient,
Yeah.
and able to go out and, like, bro, I was raised in the Midwest. My grandmother had a garden in her back, bro. She used to grow her own everything. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
People ain't doing that kind of stuff no more. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
I got some folks, some family in Texarkana. Like, he had his own hog farm, had his own little chickens running around. Now, go ahead and bring that to L.A. You will never catch me wringing the neck of a chicken. You will catch me in a grocery store. You will never catch a garden in the back of my apartment.
KFC.
Somebody's gonna kick through it, walk, stomp it. Like,
Yeah.
so it's. I mean, it's just your awareness, man, of everything. But the food quality right now in the world is poor. There are reasons other than, and the reason I was making the point that I'm making is, I don't want to always make everything so negative, like the government's doing this, the government's doing that. Bro, the government has a hard fucking job. If you ever been a manager or a supervisor and you know what it is to try to manage different personalities to make something work, like, you feel what I'm saying? That's a tough job.
Gotcha.
Now put that shit on the scale of being a president and trying to manage different cultures, races, this and that, motherfuckers who got problems, issues, mentals, mad, happy, sad, like what. So, you know, our government is doing the best that it can. You know, that's, you know, I do believe that, but I felt a little something right here from a viewer. Our government right now is fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's just a lot of, everything's connected, bro. It's just like a lot of work to be done in a lot of areas, and it's not always a negative reason, you know, of why things look the way they are. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's a valid reason, and we have to look at that valid reason, because looking at it in a negative sense, bro, has us where we're at now, bro. Everybody all mad as shit, thinking somebody, why you do? Everybody mad, bro. Ain't nobody really attacking you. My nigga already got too many problems. Ain't, you know what I mean? So, you know, the change of perspective, change the world, bro. You know, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Like, you know, there are different reasons for everything, and depending on how you see things, you know, you could really be blinding yourself, or you could really be seeing things for what it really is. You know what I mean?
Well, shit. I mean, I guess we won't find out until
Right.
it happens. If it happens, if
Hey,
that shit goes legal,
Yeah.
if that shit goes legal in the federal sense, we'll get a first-hand look, you know, front row look to see how it plays out, and then absolutely at that point in time, we definitely got to revisit it. At which point to see who was right, or you know, and then how can we go from there with the recap, and then figure out what the steps are depending upon how it plays out. So,
Well, it run across my table, you know, the Senate, the 420 bill come up, I'm signing. I'm with it. I'm with it. You know what I mean? There's just too many good causes. Like I said, don't always look at everything as a negative. Look, put it this way, real quick, right? Real quick, and we're going to end it. It's classified next to heroin, right?
yeah.
Let somebody smoke weed for 1 year every day, and let somebody smoke heroin every day for a year. And at the end of that year, let's go back and do a study on both of those. And I'll go ahead and volunteer to be the lab rat for the weed. I'll smoke it every day for a year straight. I've already been doing it for like 5, 10, and I'm good, bro. I'm more aware than a lot of money. Like,
So the 420 bill is currently.
I want to say a few months ago, bro, I saw that the federal government put a bill into action that they're trying to get passed.
Okay, well, shit.
So do your research. You'll find it on the
definitely
internet. I don't
research.
really have all the details like that, but you will see it on the internet that Senator passed a 420 bill. Federal government is, you know, possibly going to legalize it.
Well, shit. Hopefully, maybe I could look that up and get more.
Well, you know, if they get the signatures or
Yeah.
however that shit
Yeah.
go, you know what I mean?
We'll put a link to it. We'll have young Marvin put a link to it so that y'all can look deeper into it, do your own research.
Don't put the link in, Marv. Y'all do your research, man. Go to Google. Be self-sufficient, bro. Don't let nobody do
That's
it
what we
for
gonna
you.
do. We not
Fact
gonna
check me, bro. Just go to Google and research it on
we
your
not
own.
gonna we not gonna provide it for him, make it easy for
Nah,
him.
bro.
You don't wanna do that?
Nah, bro. Look, if we already know, bro. What is it? Get the fish for him or teach him how to fish. Look, bro. Y'all need to go and fish on Google yourself. I'm not gonna give you the damn fish, man.
We'll figure it out. Classic conversations. Hey, we definitely appreciate
Real
the
English,
real
man.
English.
Real English.
We definitely appreciate the real English that you spit today. You chimed in, definitely tapped in with us.
I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Made the conversation interesting. Definitely provided us with some jewels. Made us think about some things. Appreciate you for the topic of the cannabis. And shit, at that point, we just ask the rest of y'all to chime in, tap in, comment. Classic conversations. Don't forget to ask.
Go smoke one.
Peace out.